5. So first I am getting a layer of pretzels down on a sheet pan on top of parchment paper. Okay. And you don't have to organize them perfectly, but I just like to see it like this, so that's how I'm doing it. I just want to make sure I have a nice layer on the bottom, which is why I'm lining them up, but of course you don't need to do that. You can just have it kind of making sure it's all across the bottom. Okay, a few more. Oh, and while we're doing this, I'm going to start to warm up the candy melts. I have about this much in there so far. It's probably about 2 cups or so. I'm going to add in a little bit extra just because I want to make sure that I have plenty to work with right away. And then of course, if we have extra, we can just save it for later for different projects. Okay, so that's how much we got. We're going to start melting this in 30-second increments. Okay, and let's finish getting this pretzel layer down. Almost there. My hope is that these will actually stay. There we go, just a few more. I don't think these aren't going to quite fit, so I'm just going to stick them on their side like this. Oops. A few more pieces. Okay, good enough. Actually, we can break a little piece and add it right there. Okay. So we're done with our pretzels. We're setting these to the side. And we're going to check on our candy melts really quick. There's a bunch of them. They barely started melting, so it definitely needs more time. In the meantime, we're going to get our other stuff ready because once the candy melts go on top, we want to move quickly and make sure that we get our toppings on there while the candy melts are still soft and not set yet. So I'm going to use some pretty nonpareil spring sprinkles. I also have these cute little flower sprinkles. And we have some pastel spring M&Ms. Before we continue, I'm going to mix that up again. See, still not getting there yet. So definitely another 30. Okay, so for our M&Ms, I'm going to put them onto like a plate, or that's what I'm going to do currently, but you can use parchment paper or whatever, because we want to start to separate out some of our M&Ms. I'm going to get a little bowl on the side here too. That should be good. So we have our spring pastel M&Ms, and let me mix up the candy melts really quick, and then we'll continue with our M&Ms. Okay, definitely getting there, but these pieces still don't want to quite melt. So we're gonna put this in there for probably about 20 seconds now, because there's still some pretty big chunks in there. But a lot of it is melted now, so we're reducing the time by a little bit. Okay, and then what we're doing with these is that we're going to separate out and do 6 of each color except for yellow. And then to each little pile of 6, we're adding 1 yellow. And what we're doing right here is we're going to make cute little M&M flowers. And the reason I'm getting these ready beforehand is, again, because you want to have all your stuff ready to go before you add your candy melts. You can kind of remelt them gently in the oven or with like a kitchen torch, but I always like to try and do it all in one swoop to make it easier. Oops. It went flying. Okay, let's get some pinks over here. 6, we're good on there. I'm gonna put more of these in the bowl so I have a little bit more space. And of course we can grab from the bowl as we need, but again, lining up little sections of them already ready to go is going to be much better. I'm gonna get rid of that one. If we have our stuff kind of already somewhat set up. So it looks like we have a lot of purples. Okay, just a few more. Double checking. Hello. How is everyone doing today? Thank you so much for joining. My apologies, the chat disappears on me a little bit here and there, so I do have to go back into it ever so often. But I do try and check it quite regularly throughout the live. Okay, let's do a few more greens. And let's see if we can fit another blue. Okay. Okay, let's do another pink, and then we're going to check our candy melts once again. 6, perfect. Okay. Pull this to the side, grab our candy melts to check on them. It's looking really good. Oh, there's a little piece that still is kind of being stubborn. I think I'm going to do another 15 seconds or so just to make sure that that little last bit gets melted and that this stays nice and hot. Okay. Then we have our pretzels. And these might shift a little bit, of course, while we're adding our candy melts, but that's why I'm going to try and kind of drizzle it over to try to keep it into a nice flat layer. And I've done this with, I'm also grabbing out my offset spatula so I can spread out the candy melts. I've done this with cookies before, and I've seen some people do it with pretzels, and that sounded really good because of the salty sweet factor. And it's very easy to customize for different seasons and holidays. Little pieces still being stubborn, so I'm kind of, sometimes if you press it against the side of the bowl, it might help melt it a little bit. Looks like that did the trick. Okay. So now we're going to pour, now that we have all of our stuff ready to go, I'm double checking the chat before I start this just to make sure I haven't missed anybody. We're all caught up. Okay. So we're pouring the candy melts right over the top. I'm gonna set my spoon to the side so it's not in my way. And I'm gonna grab my spoon out. carefully use my offset spatula to help spread this out. I thought that was more than enough candy melts, but we might actually need a little bit more. Because I don't want to see the pretzels through it. I just want just enough candy melts to completely cover everything. But what's good is that the candy melts are helping it stick. The pretzels stick down on the parchment paper. Okay, I'm gonna melt down some more candy melts. Okay. So all those start melting. I'm going to continue to spread these. What's good is that even if this is a base layer, it's helping, like I said, the pretzels kind of stick to the parchment paper. Oh, except for this little guy wants to keep popping out here. Okay, let's check that. Ooh, the hole's hot. Ooh. Okay, they're just barely starting to melt. Of course, it needs more time. Check the chat while we're spreading the candy melts out. We're still caught up. Cool. Let's see if I can maneuver little candy melts over to this one to make it stick a little bit better. Okay, let's check those again. Ew. Okay, we're getting there with the melts, but we're still not quite there. So 20 seconds. Okay, but like I said, we have all of our sprinkles and our M&Ms ready to go right over there, so that as soon as our top layer of candy melts goes on, then we will be able to pop everything on without having to remelt it. Okay, it's looking like everything is nice and melty. All right, so we're gonna continue to pour this over the top. Be very careful because the bowl is much hotter now. Okay. Just trying to make sure all the pretzels are totally covered. Okay. I still want a little bit more, so I'm going to melt down even more melts. Just melt the rest of this bag. Because I would like it to not show as much pretzel as it is. Okay, they're all pretty much covered. But like I said, I just want to make that layer a little bit thick. A little tiny bit more thick. Not too much because I don't want it to be overly sweet, but aesthetic wise, I would like it to be a little bit of a thicker coating so that we can see those pretty decorations on top better. Okay, 30 more seconds on that, and we're also checking the chat. We're still caught up, good to go. How's everyone's day going? It's actually starting to warm up here where I am. Which I don't know, do you guys like summer weather? I always like, if I'm in the pool, I enjoy summer, but if not, then it's just kind of, ooh. Because I am in Northern California, and the spot where I'm at can get pretty hot during summer. Mix up our candy melts. And just like before, probably another 20 seconds or so just to melt that last little stuff. Okay. And check the chat while we're waiting. Okay. And like I mentioned, I've done this with cookies before, so like a layer of Biscoff cookies. I also thought about trying out a layer of Oreos, which sounds delicious. There's so many easy ways to customize it, especially with summer coming up with how hot it is. It's perfect for no-bake treats. There's some of those little stubborn pieces that aren't wanting to melt all the way. Come on. So as I mentioned, it's kind of hard to shoot this. As I mentioned, I kind of press it up against the side if it's having a little trouble melting, and sometimes that actually helps a little bit. Like that piece right there. Just kind of a quick motion of pressing it up against the side can help get rid of those last little stubborn ones. Unless it's seized chocolate and then it's not going to incorporate. Or seized candy melts, I should say. Still a couple little spots. Okay, I think that looks better. Scooch this back over. And we're going to pour this across the top. Okay. Ooh. And spread it out. If the pretzels pop up, you can kind of push them down a little bit too. Stay down. These things want to pop up too. And a way to get these to stick, I just thought about, is that we could have added a little layer, super thin layer on the bottom of candy melts and then stuck all of them on there so that they wouldn't be popping up like this. But it's still gonna work. That's the awesome thing about bark, is that it does not have to be perfect. These things keep floating to the top. Okay, but we're gonna work with it. So we're gonna add let's add some of our spring nonpareils. Let's give it a nice little layer. Okay, that looks pretty good. And let's toss some of these little flowers on there. Just kind of evenly sprinkle them around. Okay, and then we're gonna grab our M&Ms and start popping those on there. And then of course I'm flipping them upside down so that we can't see the M on it. We just want to see the pretty colors. Just gonna pop it. And, oops. Okay, that one has the M upside. I did not see that. Sometimes with the pastel it's a little hard to read it. But I'm arranging our colors right around the yellow. Just like that. So it looks like a little flower. And then we're just doing the same thing everywhere else. Again, we're just working quickly because we want to make sure that we do this before they start to set. Let's do a green one now. Let's do it right here. And these are the same white vanilla melting wafers that I use for a ton of my no-bake projects. They're Ghirardelli ones that are my favorite. Oops. Okay, I guess the flower's gonna go down here. Okay, and let's do another purple one. Over here. And we just keep arranging them in little groups of 6 with the yellow in the center. Perfect. And let's do pinky over here. Let's grab some green. Aren't they so cute? So springy. Check the chat while I'm doing this. We're still caught up. If you have any questions or recommendations on things that you would be interested in seeing on this channel, feel free to drop it in the chat or the comments on the replay later. Especially with summer coming up, I'm definitely looking at some no-bake stuff going on. And of course, I still love to decorate things like cupcakes, so we're still gonna have that. blue one over here. Okay, and then a pink one. I always keep going until we're happy with how many little flowers are on here. Okay, I think a couple more flowers. So let's do a green one over here. And let's do a blue one over here in this corner. Okay, and let's see, where do I want to pop another pink one? So I can do over here by the purples. Oops, that's good. Another one. That, let's see if I want to do any other purple somewhere. Maybe we could do a blue one right here. See if we have enough. Just feel like bag. Let's go right here. Okay, and I think I'm going to pop the purple one up here. Okay, do we need any other spots? What do you guys think? I feel like the middle needs something. But what color? Because all of them are touching there. Purples can be right next to each other. And also let's do, I think, another green somewhere over here in this corner. And then I think we'll be done at that point. Oops. Actually, maybe another pink one towards the top. Just to fill it in a little bit more. Okay. So let's do green over here. Okay, purple one in the center. Another one up here. I can tell the candy melts are definitely still soft, but they are starting to get a little bit firmer. But I'm very happy that they stayed soft as long as they have, because I have had candy melts start to set while making bark before, while trying to add the toppings. I think it's because I didn't make it hot enough to where it would actually stay soft and not quite set yet. But I can see that along like just the very border, they're starting to set. I think that we're good. I think I'm gonna add a few more of the pink, these little pink sprinkles, little flowers around, just to fill in if there's any kind of slightly bigger gaps. What do you guys think? Doesn't it look like a pretty little spring day? Okay, where else do I need sprinkles? There. Okay, I think we're just about done. What do you guys think of our spring bark? Where else? Just a few more. There. I think that looks good. Okay, what do you guys think of our spring bark? It is not completely set yet, so I'm not going to break it apart just yet. So I think our shorts video for today is showing how to break it apart once it's all complete. A little more light on there. I'm quite excited. I'm a big fan of salty sweet, that combination. So I'm quite excited to give this a try, because I can't remember if I've actually tried this bark with pretzels before. Like I said, I know I've done it with the Lotus Biscoff cookies and stuff like that, but And I think it turned out really cute with all the flowers and everything. And it's so easy to make flowers with M&Ms. And of course you could do it with the regular ones, but the spring ones or the pastel ones are perfect, obviously, for spring. So that's our life for today. It did take a little bit longer than expected just because of having to remelt some more of the melting wafers. It's been a little while since I've made a bark like this one, especially with such a big pan. But that's just more to give people. So yeah, that's it for today. I have my next tutorial video coming out. Very cute. Thank you so much, sister. My next tutorial video is coming out tomorrow. More updates about that. But it is about my birthday cake and how I made that. I filmed everything from making some of the components and stacking them and decorating. It was a lot, but it was really cool, and it was a very tall cake. So let me make sure I haven't missed a chat. Everyone just made it look so pretty and yummy. Oh, thank you so much. Looks like I missed it. You can catch the replay if you'd like to. It will be up after we're done here. And we are just wrapping up just now. So like I said, make sure to keep an eye out for that tutorial video. Of course, more shorts are coming, and we'll have another live next week. Let me know if you'd like to see anything in particular for lives and tutorials coming up. Pop those in the comments. And I will see you guys very soon. Have a great day. Bye.